All right, so now we're ready to go. So I'm gonna go pour in the first 3 quarts. Should be pretty easy. So what we're gonna want to do first is check to see it's in there properly, that the fluid goes in there without dribbling out, because it should be short, like 3 or 4 quarts right now. So let's go put a little bit in. See, it's kind of like a bright red. It was a little dirty red before. Okay, see, it's going down the funnel. It should not be dribbling out. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. So see, we didn't. I think I put the hose in too far. Yeah, why did it come out? I just poured it in and it didn't come out. What I had to do is I had to stuff the hose all the way as far as I can get it in there. So it's just as far as I can get it in there. So we're gonna go pour some more in. Okay, some coming down. You see it going down the hose. Just go down here and check to make sure it's not dribbling out, because it shouldn't be right now. Once we get to about the third, past the third, when we're on the 4th quart, it should start dribbling out. So you can kind of see a little bit dribbling out, but not really. So there we go. That's what we want. You don't want it to be spilling out like it was before, because it shouldn't be. Got it? All right. So I'm just gonna keep on pouring it in. I'm gonna pour in 3 quarts, and then yeah. So it helps if you can get this totally vertical. So there we go. Okay. So it should take 3.5 of these, just about. And just have your drip pan ready just in case also. Looks like it's taking its sweet time dripping down, dude. I just want to pour in a little bit at a time. It beats sitting under the car with the fluid pump, you know, pumping fluid into the hole. So probably we want to check, see it's not dripping. It is not. It's still dry. Okay. So yeah, I had to. I don't know if I had to pull the hose out more or push it in more. So what I did is I pulled it out a little bit. It's still dripping, and then I pushed it all the way, and I like really shoved it up in there. And then it stopped dripping. So it's like, what? I wasted a little bit of fluid, but it's okay. We have a little extra. So we're just gonna continue pouring this for 3 more 3 quarts. It's a little slow going. This is kind of a small hose, so it takes a while to drain. And you pretty much can't go wrong doing this, because like once you're full, that's it, you know, and then you just plug it back up. That's all there's left to do. But make sure you go through more than 3. You're gonna need 3.5 of this. So if it's dribbling out and and you're not close to like 4 yet, you're not doing it right. Just like I was doing it earlier. So I showed you how not to do it, and then I showed you how to do it. So okay, that's 1 bottle. It looks kind of like cough syrup. That's what it reminds me of, cough syrup. It looks exactly like cough syrup, but pretty sure it wouldn't be good for your health to drink that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of leave this here and let it drain for a while, and I'm going to go inspect the hole. Okay, yep, still dry. I don't see anything dribbling out yet, so we're good. So that's how we want it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour the next 3 in, and I'm gonna speed up the video. Okay, Hazemick here, and I've got the 3rd bottle in there, and it hasn't started leaking out yet. So this 4th one, it probably will start leaking out, and I'll get that on video. You guys will see it dribbling out of the hole, and then that'll be it. So, and then we'll plug it up. From what I notice, is it's better to put in a little bit at a time, so it doesn't. There's not like a kind of like a vacuum. What I find is it's best to just pour a little bit in at a time. So there isn't that kind of like a vacuum holding it up type of thing. So now it's going to be pretty critical where we put some in, and then we start checking underneath if it starts dribbling down. So it's probably pretty close to full now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep on pouring, and then eventually it'll start dribbling out the bottom. So I'm going to go put the camera underneath the car now so I can get that moment. All right. Okay, so at some point you're going to see some fluid start dribbling down here. Okay, there it is. I can see it starting to dribble down right now, right around here. You see it? I think that's pretty much full. I'm going to fill it up a little bit more. I was getting a little worried. I've almost gone through the whole 4th bottle. Yeah, there it is. So it's full now. You can see it's dripping right here. Okay, so I got our handy dandy drain plug here ready. We're going to go ahead and pull the hose out and put the plug in. Probably a lot more fluid is going to start coming out. That hose is all the way in there, man. Now it's just a torrent of fluid coming out. Try to get that plug in there before too much drips out. It's very hard to get it in there at the right angle. Disaster. Boom. That's it. That's me screwing the plug in there. I know it's kind of hard to see. The hose is in the way. See it? Let's get it. Do it hand tight first. We'll clean up this mess. Okay, and then drain the rest of the fluid into there. I'll just let it drain. Okay, and then yeah, we're pretty much done. We just got to clean up. Okay, what a mess. So let's just double check to make sure that this is tight so it won't leak anymore. And yeah, I knew once I pulled that hose out, like a lot of fluid is going to start coming out because it was like backed up, you know. Okay, so you're going to want to clean this as best as you can. I know it's messy, dude. It's messy. So what we're gonna do is just I know this is gonna make a big mess too. Pull this out and pull this out. Okay, just came out kind of like that. No big deal. I think I'm gonna go put it back in my bag here so to keep it clean. I'm gonna go wipe the funnel clean also. I only use this for this task, so I think I paid maybe like $5 for this funnel dealie, and I had to add an extra piece of hose to it. You kind of have to add an extra piece of hose to it. It gets it in there easier. I mean, I guess we had to stick it in there quite a ways, you know. Maybe it works. Maybe it works if you just stick the part in there, but it's so slow. It drains so slow, and I think it's because we have that extra hose at the end. I don't know if we had to add that, but I don't think it's long enough. That might have been why. So I don't know, but it makes it easier to get it in there. So, all right. So I'm just gonna wipe that clean with a rag, and then put that away. So last thing to do is we need to torque that that plug, and I highly recommend you torque it, and you make sure the socket is on there properly. So I got it set to 29 foot-pounds. That's what it was set before. Oh, it doesn't fit. I have to stick it in between these two hoses. Okay. All right. I should use a ratchet. I should use the ratchet first. It's okay. I got this. It's about 31 foot-pounds right there. A little too much, but that's okay. That's it. All done. And just kind of clean up. When I torqued it a little bit of fluid started coming out. And make sure you clean up the area well, because this oil will attract dirt. And you want to keep the bottom of your car nice and clean. Plus, you want to clean it so you can take a look at it later to see if it's leaking at all. It shouldn't be leaking. If it's leaking, you probably should have changed the thingy. So there's a lot of little cracks on the transmission. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so that's it. So there it is. That's the plug that we just tightened. So I tightened it to about 30 foot-pounds ish, and then we already tightened this one earlier. So we are totally done. And then the last thing you want to do is put the cover back on, the front cover. Okay. Slide that on like that, and you just put these back on. So the way these go is when these are the center part is pulled out, push it into the hole here, okay, and then push down on the center part and it locks it in. Got it? Just do that 5 more times. All right, so that's it. Okay, so I just wanted to go over all the tools that we used. I'll go over I think the first tool that we used was a Phillips head screwdriver to take these guys out. It's good to have safety glasses because you'll be working underneath the car. You need a bunch of, it helps to have like a long breaker bar like this. It made do the work really easy. You need a 24 millimeter socket and a 10 millimeter Allen wrench type thing. Yeah, you need an Allen socket because you need to torque it. So you have to have something like this. Okay, so this is a 3/8 and this is a 1/2 inch right here. And then you're gonna need a torque wrench when you're done. Got it? So and it's 29 foot-pounds for both the fill plug and the drain plug. And then that's pretty much it. And then you're gonna need a drain pan to drain all this stuff into. I used almost everything. That's what I'll say. Yeah, I used almost all of it. So pretty much I'm probably just going to throw the rest of this into the drain pan. That's what I'm going to do. And it's a big mess. Make sure you got a lot of napkins and stuff, and rags, and then just like try to keep it, like some of it dribbled off onto the paint and stuff, so just try to keep it off as much as possible. If anything, it might be good for the paint, I don't know. Alright, so yeah, so like I said, you're going to want 4 bottles. Hopefully you didn't waste too much putting it in the first time, because I wasted a little bit when I first put the hose in, but yeah, so what I did was, oh yeah, and then you need a transmission funnel hose dealie here. So it's basically a funnel with a hose at the end of it. You can probably just get a funnel and attach a hose to it, but I bought this one at Toyota. I think it's like $5 or something, and then I attach a little extra hose to the end of it, so it's easier to get in. And that's the easiest way. The alternative way is to use a fluid transfer pump, and you'd be under the car just pumping away all day, so it's no fun. This way it's a lot easier. You just kind of just pour it in, but it takes a while to pour it in. So, and like I said, we almost went through all 4 quarts, but yeah, we should be good for another 30 or 50,000 miles whenever the next time I change it. I think I had over changed it as before, so that's why I went extra long this time. And then make sure you clean the drain plug. It has that little magnet on it. Alright, so I hope you guys learned something. That's some extra notes after I did it notes that I want to impart to you guys. Okay, hope you guys learned something. Here's what we got. Also, by the way, it took me about 2-3 hours to do this. It took a while. Yeah, it takes and most of it was just waiting for it to drain, and waiting for the fluid to go down the hose back into the transmission. So it's the fluid that takes a long time. It's not really the work that's involved. Is what I want to say. So yeah, it took me 2-3 hours. But also take note that I was shooting video at the same time too, so that always makes it take longer. So I'd imagine if you were pretty proficient at this, you could probably do it in an hour. Yeah, you could probably do it in an hour. If you're doing it in your driveway like I am, and then you had all your tools ready and stuff. So, all right, thanks for coming.